Welcome to the Brothers of Destruction podcast, where we break down all the latest WWE action. From epic rivalries to shocking twists, we've got the full breakdown.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brothers of Destruction podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Prime Time. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing the events of Raw, the big one, the one after WrestleMania. Always a big one.
Always.
And this one wasn't short of a bit of drama, incident, bit of fun, a couple of emotional scenes, but we'll get into it. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and we've got an Instagram page. So yes, bro, how are you getting on?
Not too bad. Making it work still. There's no Wi-Fi in the house at the moment, but we're still making it work. We still find a way around it. So didn't think we'd get this episode going through that, but we've managed to work around it. I am doing it from my phone, and I am all good. We're all good to go.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Right, let's get into it. First, I'd like to discuss Brock Lesnar. His legacy. Look, what happened at WrestleMania was shocking to all of us.
Shocking.
Including
even the people in the back.
I was going to say, including the people in the back, it was surprising to everyone. It was more or less confirmed on Raw. Paul Heyman with an incredible promo on it. Quite emotional as well, but quite emotional. Yeah. Where does Brock Lesnar sit in terms of the performers you've seen in your time watching WWE and wrestling in general?
Obviously quite high, and it's one of those. It's even before he retired. It's probably the last couple of years where I kind of realised how great Brock Lesnar is at what he does. He does, he's not known for like his long 30-minute classics like maybe a lot of other wrestlers might be known for, but what he does in that time he's in the ring, it's the amount of aura, the amount of the response from the crowd to his matches, and how he performs with a lot of people in the ring in that short amount of time, half the time as well, is nothing short of brilliant. And I think you realise that now when you look back, like at how great he is, he was, if he is retired. But in terms of up there, I'd say definitely, probably even as terms of performer, I'd probably even put him in my top 10 potentially.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, because even without his first run, not including his first run was great. Not just how they pushed him, but even how he did in the ring at that stage in his career as well. That first 2 years, he had some brilliant matches. Obviously, it's with people, who are great workers as well, great in the ring. But that level of performance he put in that first year with a lot of the guys like Kurt Angle, your Undertaker, your Eddie Guerrero, maybe not Goldberg in that first run, but you know what I mean? Like, even in that first run, he was brilliant. So, he's brilliant, Brock Lesnar. Probably say crack in my top 10.
Well, yeah, as you know, for me personally, he's in my top 5. I think he's been incredible. Yeah. But it was confirmed he has retired. But like a lot of wrestlers, and you get it in boxing as well, just because you say you're retired, it doesn't mean you have actually retired. A lot of people, they go back home, and then after a few months, couple of years, they get the itch. Will we see Brock Lesnar wrestle again, in your opinion?
I think potentially. I'm going to say 70% we will. They might have even, this might even be a work. They might have even just done this to, because you don't know what, and this is the great thing with WWE, you don't know what could be a work or where the lines are, blowing the lines of it as such. So again, it's one of those only a few people would have known about Brock Lesnar maybe doing what he did at Mania, leaving his gloves and boots in the ring, sort of retiring potentially. And no one else knows it, everyone else is shocked. But it could be a thing where no one expected it. You just never know, especially because it's Brock, and Brock does pretty much what he wants, what he feels like. Just never know. But I think we could see him back in the ring potentially. So I think it'll be a monumental moment, really.
Listen, I agree and I disagree with you. Where I disagree with you, It's about it being a work. I don't think it's a work. I think he's decided he's going to retire on his own terms. But where I do agree with you is that I do think it's more than likely we'll see him in the ring again. I think he'll be on his farm. First few months he'll enjoy, few months he'll enjoy. But he's a competitor. And I don't think you lose that. He's 47, 48. He's in great shape. I think he'll be at home and he'll be bored out of his brain after a while. And or the WWE will offer him a
shitload of money.
Yeah, to come back, something he can't turn down. So I do think we'll see him again. Whether it'll be a run, one last run, or just one last match, I'd probably lean to one last match. But we'll see. For me, I think we will see him again at least one more time in the ring.
Yeah, that'd be great as well. Yeah, it did feel that was sudden. I think there was plans to do a trilogy with him and Obafemi, but I think, to be fair, that you don't need a trilogy for that one-off match anyway. Was fine anyway. I think it was something like that. It's a bit of a spectacle in itself, so you're better off just having one explosive match in there. Obafemi beats him, one-off match. That's it. You don't need a trilogy or a long feud.
The story was told. That's it. The story was told.
Yeah.
Now listen, big up to Brock Lesnar. Hope to see you again, but if we don't, happy retirement. And if we don't see you in the ring again, hopefully we see you in the Hall of Fame within the next couple of years. Big up Brock Lesnar.
Definitely. You'll be in there. You'll be in there.
Now, moving on from Brock Lesnar, that takes us into the new next big thing.
Obafemi, yeah.
Yeah, he was on Raw, didn't say much, but it was quite effective. The ruler has a
Didn't need to.
It reminded me, and I don't know what you think, it reminded me of Roman Reigns after he beat the Undertaker. Yeah. He came out, different reception.
Completely different
reaction. It reminded me when Roman Reigns came out and said, "This is my yard now," which for me is still one of the most brilliant promos. And I know it was only a few words, but the effect it had because of the reaction he got coming out. And just the way he said that line, dropped the mic left, I thought that was brilliant work. And it sort of reminded me of that. What did you think of
doing that?
Do you think that's all Oba needed to say? Do you think he should have said a bit more, or it needed to be more?
No, that was it. And you made the point, I kind of got that vibe from when Reigns did against Undertaker. If Reigns turned heel after that, that could have maybe been a bit of an historic promo, maybe in the sense, if Reigns turned heel from that and then maybe had a similar run like the Tribal Chief. But, another conversation for another day. But that's all Obafemi needed to do. He didn't need to do a long, drawn-out promo. He did a great promo before Mania anyways. Yeah. And I think it's better off he just kept it short and sweet. And it leaves people again wanting more, people thinking, what's he going to do next? Who's going to come out and challenge next? Or who's going to challenge Obafemi? What's the next feud going to be? So, just leave the people wanting more. Yeah. Sort of less is more in that sense, So you might not see him, potentially might not see him for another few weeks, and then bang, he's in a big feud with someone or...
Let's hope so, because he is shit hot at the moment.
Yeah. But leave people wanting a bit more, not leave them out too long, but maybe a few weeks when people are screaming out for Obafemi to come back, and his entrance will be, brilliant when he comes back.
Yeah, no, for me, I thought it was perfect. Just a few words I thought was perfect.
Yeah.
Carrying on the theme of up-and-coming stars and next big thing and the future, Ethan Page, Sol Ruka, now on the Raw roster, both made Raw debuts. What did you think? Let's start with Sol Ruka. My girl, Sol Ruka. I think she's incredible.
Yeah.
I think of her. What was your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen enough of her now, even just from the highlights. I've seen enough of her to see what she can do. And she impressed. And you know what? I know some people say, she lost in her debut on Raw, but she gave it a really good go with Liv Morgan. The match was I thought the match was good and it went good length, which again begs the question why her match with Stephanie Fakir was quite short. Won't go into that too much. Again, it still baffles me. But Sol Ruka, back onto her, she really impressed in that match, even with the loss. I think it's probably better off giving her a loss and then people wanting her to see a win at some point. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better having that loss rather than like a win, which, you just think, build up a bit of vulnerability, a bit of sympathy for her. And I think she'll be that type of face as well, where, she won't dominate or win every match like a dominant face, but she'll look great in a match just because of what she can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And even with she can afford to take a loss here and there just because of how impressive she is. I think she can afford to take a loss.
I do
But
hear
I've been impressed with her.
Listen, I don't think she got pinned, but I don't think she lost. There was no losers from that match.
Yeah,
Both,
it was interference there, so you know what I mean.
it wasn't clean. It was interference.
Yeah,
I thought both ladies looked incredible, particularly Soruka. I thought she was awesome as usual. She is over already. She is over. Well, she's over from her NXT.
Yeah.
But even on the main roster, it seems like the crowd have taken to her.
Oh yeah.
And look, what I don't know if everyone realizes, she's quite new to wrestling. She's only been wrestling, I think, off the top of my head, 3-4 years.
Pushing 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. So she's quite new to wrestling. So once the experience and the brain, and there's one or two others like this as well. Once the experience and the brain catches up with the athleticism, she'll be an incredible performer. And that's when you elevate her to main event level. Right now, I agree with you. She'll take some losses. She'll win some. She'll lose some. She'll look great whatever she does. But like I said, once the brain and the experience starts to catch up to the athleticism, she'll be incredible. And then
she'll be great.
Yeah.
Sometimes with faces, you need to. I know people say, as soon as you lose a match, you bury. But faces do need to take a loss. I think certain faces do need to take a loss, and I think she's that kind of face as well, where she will need to. You can't just have a win every match. I think she is one of those, maybe not full on underdog, but she is someone where, you want to see her win more. You have a lose because you clamor to see her win more.
Yeah,
you can get behind her.
See a battle
sympathetic face. Yeah,
you want to see a battle for adversity. Yeah, listen. Yeah, exactly. I'm completely high on Soruka, so good luck to her. To be honest,
good luck to her.
Can't wait to see more of her.
Now, the opposite to that, Ethan Page. It's a weird way it's a low-key way to introduce him, just in a backstage segment. He's one of the top heels, not just NXT. I think some people say in wrestling right now, maybe one of the top heels, or up there anyways. You could have maybe had him come out and maybe interrupt someone in the ring, potentially, like a bigger introduction there, but then you already had Soruka do it. But it's not a bad way to introduce Ethan Page. I think...
Can I stop you there?
Go for it.
Have you watched all of Raw?
Yeah, I've watched all of it, yeah.
So you didn't see his match with Javon Evans? Or did you miss
I did see the match. No, I did see the match.
Sorry, just the way you're speaking, it's like all he did was the backstage thing. You didn't see him again. Sorry.
No, I did see the match, yeah. So obviously you get him in the ring. I think with him, he needed to win that match, definitely. Even if it is with interference, you know what I mean? But he got a win over Javon Evans, who's got a bit of momentum at the moment. Doesn't slow it down. Ethan Page got a big, he got a good debut. He won. He was very clear for the heel role. As you could see, Penta came out against Rusev. He helped Rusev get the upper hand on Penta. You could see him play the heel role. I think you can get the gist from that. If you're new to him, you can get the gist of that, of what kind of heel he might be. Maybe sort of the cowardly heel, sort of helping the other heels, or anything for his own agenda you might gain out of it. I can see them doing a fatal four-way then, by the looks of it. Javon, Evans, Rusev, Ethan Page, and Penta for the Intercontinental title, which be interesting. Yeah. But I can also see him potentially, if not winning the Intercontinental title, definitely going for it. Maybe even potentially winning it. I can see him maybe having a run, maybe similar to the North American title in NXT, which a lot of people seem to rave about.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think that's fair. For me, it was a shame. I think he had to win. It was a shame it was at the expense of Javon Evans, because obviously he's got a bit of momentum. But yeah, I didn't have anything bad to say. I think
again, Javon can. Yeah, he needed to win more, and it's against someone people are behind.
Yeah,
and he's against someone who people are behind at the moment. And again, Javon Evans to face, similar to Soruka, he can afford to take a loss here and there. And Javon Evans is not when you're 10 years old practically, so talking about
the baby.
wrestling wise, yeah. So,
Baby.
It's a good debut.
Right.
It's a good debut for both of them.
So, question before we close this chapter, a question on both NXT stars now the Raw roster, Ethan Page, Sol Ruka. In your opinion, who will be the biggest star this time next year?
I will say next year, I maybe say Ethan Page, maybe. If you're talking about long term, then I say Sol Ruka.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
we're going to clip this. Come back to this time next year.
We'll go back to this. Also, we won't forget there's another debut for next week. Say his name and you will appear. So we won't say his name, but you can probably guess. Don't want him standing behind me like it's Candyman or something, or. But you can probably guess who it is. He'll be debuting with his concert next week. It's not The Rock, but again, we can't say his name. But you'll probably figure out who it is.
Yeah. Ho Gendry. Let's call him Ho Gendry. That'll give you a clue.
Yeah. You're pushing it there a bit, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Pushing it there a bit.
Here's your clue. Here's your clue. Right. Moving on. Again, we talk about the future and a potential superstar if he's not one already. Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins.
Breaker's back.
That feud has been renewed. Now with the added dynamic with the Street Profits getting involved.
That was interesting, yeah.
What's your take?
That was interesting. So I don't know if Street Profits will be. I think there might be great to see them back, by the way. So after this long, obviously, again, congratulations to Montez Ford, who's, Bianca Belair's pregnant, but out to have a kid. Congrats to both.
Sorry, I know you're not on X much, but I don't know if you saw Angelo Dawkins' tweet. Have you seen it?
No, is it? What's it in regards to?
He had a picture of him and Montez. He said, "We don't pull out, we pull up." And I must have, I had a chuckle. I was like, "Yeah, okay, big up."
That's brilliant. Yeah. I'm glad you told me that. That's brilliant. That's
I should have sent it to you, to be honest. But sorry, so I cut you off in your prime. What was you saying?
In my prime, pun intended. Street Profits. So it's great to see them back. I can see them having a feud with Division. Whether they beat them for tag titles or not, we shall see. But I'll be interested in that feud as well. Like, just to see Street Profits back, I think it adds to the tag team division, which needs it right now desperately in that sense. So I think the tag division on both sides is been a bit weak recently. I'm hoping it picks up post-Mania now. Street Profits will help with that. I don't know if they'll be directly involved with Bron as well. I think it'll be just a case of Bron and Seth going forward.
I think that's probably why actually they've got Street Profits involved. So it sort of takes away Logan Paul and Austin Theory. It takes them out of that
equation.
Yeah.
So it's just Bron on his own against Seth.
Yeah, because it'll be Seth taking on the whole division. It wouldn't work. But you've now Street Profits that Logan Paul and Austin Theory have to worry about. So I think that's probably the main reason why they've actually got them involved. To be honest,
you got two interesting feuds here, because I think Logan and Austin against Profits will be interesting feud.
Yeah, it will.
You get a couple matches out of that, and it might build the Raw tag division again, which would be beneficial for all the tag teams there. And then I think Bron and Seth, in contrast to what they're going to do with Obafemi and Brock, I think Bron Breakker and Seth, you maybe have a bit of a lengthy feud. Maybe you can drag out to SummerSlam in a blow-off match. But I think, you have a bit of a trilogy with them too, I think.
I think
you can. I think it'll be a good feud that could really push Bron Breakker to the main event scene fully.
Do we have the start of that trilogy Backlash?
Potentially, yeah, because I think you can have that at Backlash. It's quite early. You only have a couple of weeks build to it. But there's history there anyways, and that would just be the first of maybe, 3 matches. So you can have it then, maybe on an episode of Raw, even if you want to do that. And then, they have a few other things there. They may be focusing on this wrestler, that wrestler, but they're still sort of feuding with each other, which they have done in the past. You know, Bron Breakker's feuding with this guy a bit, but then Seth, who's maybe taken out for a few weeks, comes back, costs him the match or whatever. And you have that blow-off match at SummerSlam, I think. So I think, yeah, the WWE's dragged out storylines and rivalries before. So I think this one you could drag out till SummerSlam. That's 4-month rivalry there, you know what I mean? That's not that long on the basis of it.
It's not.
And I think
it's not.
And I think it could,
SummerSlam in my head, I'm thinking it's sort of way away, but as you said, it's just what, 3
It's not.
months.
Yeah, it's literally at the start of August. So, yes, just over 3 months, really, because we're at the end of April now. And I think a long feud will build up Braun more than just a one-off match where he beats Seth.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of Finn Balor and the Judgment Day, I thought WrestleMania would have been the end of it, but obviously not. That looks like it's still got a little bit to run.
I think it does. Yeah, so I think it does. And it should do, because you've got the history of Balor and JD as well. You can't ignore that. And, you know, I think even Balor sort of alluded it to promo. It's like, it means, I think Balor half expected Dom to do it, and we all did as well. But for JD to turn him as well, considering Balor pretty much brought JD into the Judgment Day.
Yeah, their history.
And they've known each other for years as well. It's a bit more of a shock JD turned on Balor, and I think that's more personal than Balor and Dom. But the thing is, they've had the Balor JD match on Raw just then, so I don't know if that's it now, and it's Balor still feuding with Dom. Don't have to focus on that. I reckon it could be a thing where maybe even Backlash somewhere you have, or another POE, you have Liv Morgan and Dom against Finn Balor and Stephanie Bakir.
Ooh,
which would be an interesting mixed tag.
Very interesting.
Yeah, interesting mixed tag.
Yeah, he got good imagination. You should be part of the creative team.
I say that it's only because I saw it online, but you know what I mean. But
yeah. You're a fraud.
Yeah.
You're a fraud.
Yeah,
your idea. But yeah, no, that would be interesting.
But it's written.
Very interesting.
As far as mixed tag matches go, that'd be an interesting one, good one. So
it would.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Right. Let's go towards. I'm going to pick the main event of Raw first, and because I'm going to go to my favorite segment of Raw last. So we'll go to the main event of Raw first. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. What's the situation? Is the Bloodline back together? Was it just a one-off thing? Are the Bloodline going to get back together if they're not back together already? Jacob, Roman, is it happening? And if it does happen, will it happen at Backlash?
So this is interesting. And I didn't expect, I was all fully thinking it was going to be Gunther to be the first challenger. So maybe they're building it up long term. But Jacob Fatu to come out and challenge Reigns, it was a shock. But you know what? I'm on board with that. It's interesting there. And I think, especially if you only got a few weeks to build to it, because if it's going to be a Backlash, that's literally, it's only pushing 2.5 weeks away. So it's not that much time to build up a story there, but I think you need matches for it anyways. So you need matches for Backlash. And I think this would be a big match without having to tell a long story there. Yeah. Considering there's a story already there, which, you know,
I was going to say,
within that few weeks.
The story's already there. Their family, you've got to see Jay and Jim look like they're sort of back in bed, so to speak, with Roman. Like I said, nothing was sort of confirmed of the Bloodline are back together. But if they are, I've seen a few complaints online.
No,
but for me, the Bloodline storyline was probably the most successful and popular storyline we've had in many years in the WWE. And in this time, it will be different. The dynamic will be different. They're going to be
faces, the all face.
Their faces. Possibility, you might have Jacob in there instead of a solo. Because if Roman beats Jacob, I'm pretty sure that Jacob would have to acknowledge him and would be put him with the fold. So I would be up for it, to be said. See the Bloodline, this version of the Bloodline.
I wouldn't have Jacob involved with the group.
Personally, that wouldn't be my first choice. I like Jacob by himself. but I can see that's the route they're likely to go, and I don't mind
maybe.
it. It's not my first choice, but I don't mind it.
No. I could see that maybe trying to get him into Bloodline, and maybe it could be a thing where he'll just want to stay out on his own, which it could be that he might be in the group, he might be in the Bloodline. I think you maybe just keep him out on his own. So first off, for the Bloodline being back together, I'm not against it, but I'm just kind of also like, I hope they don't go down similar route they have before. So as we said, it was a great stable, great storyline altogether. It's a great story, but it doesn't also mean you revisit it and you go back to it, and it's a watered down version of the storyline before. Like, say, even if it's a thing where Reigns is face and Jay turns heel on Roman, even if it's a different,
for me, yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, if it's different, even if it's different roles, it's something we've seen before. Even if it's Jimmy's turn, Jimmy turns heel on him or whatever, I still think it's too similar to what we've seen before. Yeah. So I'd just be interested in what outcome comes from it. Someone maybe suggested Jay takes over as the tribal chief at the end of it, but it'll be interesting to see what they take from there, because maybe it's a thing where the Bloodline's not back together. Maybe there's a bit of resistance there from the Usos to back to it. So it's interesting to see where they take it. I hope it's not a case of it's a watered down rehearse or from the original storyline. Yeah, because that was brilliant. So you don't want to ruin the legacy of that by doing it again. So, but it's interesting. You got Jacob Fatu in there. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. You got Jacob Fatu maybe involved, so might make it a bit different.
I do hear that. But yeah, in terms of being watered down, for me, Roman is pretty much still the same character he was in the OG Bloodline. The Usos are more famous, but Roman's, for me, is pretty much the same character, to be honest. He's a bit of a narcissist, but he's gold, Roman Reigns.
I think he's a bit more respectful now, even when he speaks to them.
Yeah,
it's not like,
he's not as disrespectful as he was to them previously.
It's kind of like he has changed some of his bad habits or his old ways when he was heel tribal chief. Obviously, without coming out and fully saying it, apologizing, whatever. I think he's doing this a face, but he's doing it a bit more respectfully. Even during the Punk segment before Mania, when he said respectfully for them to get out of his ring.
Yeah.
And even he's trying to be respectful, even little subtle things like that.
That's true.
But
it's a good, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this Reigns and Jacob Fatu match. And as far as first time matches with a short build before the PLE goes, this one's got enough story behind it where you're invested already. And it's like the match people were talking about a couple of years ago from when Jacob Fatu debuted in WWE, and they're talking about long-term Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. Obviously, it's different dynamic because they're both faces, but I think it's still a match people were talking about a couple of years ago. And they're excited for it.
It'll be a great match. I'm looking forward to that match at Backlash. Right. Lastly, my favorite part of Raw: CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. Bit of a showdown. What was your thoughts?
A bit of a showdown. Jesus. Wasn't what I expected. I didn't expect Cody to come out, especially the eye injury as well. But no, just a little. I didn't see the segment from SmackDown before Mania. I can't make any comparison with that. But this segment on its own, they're praising each other and everything. It was interesting. And then they teased it at the end about them two facing each other. Now, I think with that, this match will happen at some point. I think they'll make it happen. I think there's too much money there not to make it happen.
It has to happen. Do you know what? Before the Mania match with Roman, if you asked me which one I'd rather see, I would have said Cody Punk. For me, in my mind, there's something about it that grips me more than Roman against Punk. But obviously, Reigns against Punk was what it was. So
I think I preferred Reigns against Punk.
Sorry?
I think I preferred Reigns against Punk. Just because, they're both faces, but there's genuine hatred there, like kayfabe.
Oh, really?
But I think...
For me, because my mind, I've always thought Cody Punk would be the superior feud and superior match.
Cody and Punk, yeah. I'm just thinking, because they're both faces, not just faces, but because they're friends as well. I'm just thinking how intense and how personal could it get? where someone would maybe have to be a bit heelish in that, and maybe it could be either one of those two. To be fair, that's a bit heelish, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it could be Cody, in all honesty.
It could be, yeah, just because I know people look at Punk. Punk is probably the better heel. I think with this, especially with Cody being a face for so long, some people are starting to turn on him. I think, yeah, Cody is the heel.
Makes sense.
And yeah, it might make sense. And I think, this match, I think will happen. I don't know if it will happen anytime soon, but I think if it does happen, I think Mania next. Yeah, next WrestleMania. So I reckon for next WrestleMania, I can see some tweet this out as well. I think someone put this up. So I think Cody and Punk, because I think that was maybe the plan for this year. And then maybe potentially other matches that was meant to happen this year is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe
I
potentially
think that was meant to be the two main
matches.
events this year.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not being funny. Like Cody and Orton, Punk and Reigns' money anyways. Those are big matches. It's only Cody and Randy got ruined a bit by the celebrity involvement. But Reigns and Rollins, potentially, although they're both face now, so do you have two face v face matches at Mania? It could be a thing where they get The Rock. They definitely somehow get a deal for The Rock next year at Mania to face Roman Reigns. Not for a title, but just, one-on-one match. Straight one-on-one match.
They could do. Although with The Rock, I've got a feeling, because he didn't even tweet or send anything out of social media regarding WrestleMania, which is quite surprising. I don't know.
A bit weird. Nothing about Reigns, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he's still sulking from him and Reigns not happening a couple of years ago.
It shouldn't really be, because the whole story was, well, if it was going to happen, maybe you had it The Rock against Reigns in Hollywood, which I think there was maybe trying to do, but obviously they couldn't for whatever reason. And the next year, Cody won the Rumble. It wouldn't have made sense Rock just coming out, getting a title match like that against Reigns. So
no, listen, it wouldn't have. But next year, if they can't make Rock Reigns, which is sort of the one you want to make, can't make that, and time's ticking. Dwayne Johnson isn't getting any younger, by the way.
You don't want to be doing a match when he's pushing 60 at that's right, and then
exactly.
It's harder work. And even Reigns then's a bit older as well. Reigns is a bit slower.
Yeah, I was going to say that match has probably got 2 years. Yeah, tops. Yeah. Absolute maximum. If you can't make that, for me, it's Roman versus Seth, probably Cody versus CM Punk. But in saying that, Obafemi might be parachute moon by then if he's not ready. So then
you could do.
He should maybe be in the main event somewhere. So listen,
could do, yeah. Depends how quick you want to push him into that main event. Yeah.
Oh, this time next year, I think he'll be well in there. To be fair,
he could be.
Do you know? Let's see.
Hope it's not too much too soon. Yeah, that's my only worry.
Let's see where it goes. I was wondering if they could make Cody Punk for SummerSlam, or is it too?
It could do.
Is it too big for SummerSlam? But there's SummerSlam is huge, and they have tried SummerSlam as being basically the summer version of WrestleMania. So I wouldn't mind seeing Cody Punk at SummerSlam actually, and then maybe you have a rematch depending how things sort of plan out at WrestleMania next year. But I wouldn't mind
maybe, So go on.
I was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be fair, at SummerSlam.
Could have it at SummerSlam if you want a marquee match. But also, let's not forget as well, because I think this was maybe talked about a bit online, is you've got these main events, top main events, it's always same main event guys in there. You do need, even not just for the smaller PLEs, but for the big PLEs as well, at some point you do need to start having these guys come through, because again, it's a case of
that's what I said.
Seth Rollins has got a few years. Yeah, Obafemi. But even the other guys, not just Obafemi, but even the guys like your Bron Breakker, Jake Fatu, guys that have been there a few years. Actually, you could put Trick Williams in that conversation soon, maybe.
I do hear that. But for me, for SummerSlam WrestleMania, I think you've got to have your certified guys there, the 30 ones.
In one match, and then the other world title match, you maybe have a guy pushing the main event. Yeah.
Even for me, in both matches, I think you've got to have your top. Because for me, those events, particularly WrestleMania, needs to be the elite of the elite competing in the main event. It's got to be the best of the best.
You do. But if you keep doing that every year, and then you're just doing the same matches, or it's like you're just switching around the guys main eventing at that point, if that makes sense. Because I get what you're saying, but it's also you need that medium, that balance as well. You still want to push through the younger stars. I guess Cody wasn't fully set in that main event for a good match.
You do that at your Backlash or even at King of the Ring. That's where you have those guys coming through, and those are the events they get to prove that they are now the top stars. They are the elite of the elite. Then that's when they go into the main event of a WrestleMania, in my opinion.
They could do, but also just remember, and this was probably too soon anyways, but remember Reigns was still early days and he got the match with Lesnar at the WrestleMania.
Yeah, no.
I think you can get away with it in one of the world title matches because you got 2 world title matches and it's 2 nights. So maybe...
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go on.
No, that's all right. It was even, to be fair, last year, Gunther's is pretty much set main event, but he's not a big name like a Punk and Reigns or Cody at that level yet, just. But even you had Gunther against Jey Uso, as much as people might have criticised it, ended up being a good match. I just think, obviously, you do want your top stars in the main events for your Manias. But also, you can't forget about the guys breaking through as well. You do... If you do want to push them as well, at some point you're going to have to break them into it, even if it's not in the main event, but for the world title.
You do, but for me, I just don't think you break them into it at WrestleMania or even a SummerSlam. For me, like I said, you break them into it at Backlash. You break them into it at King of the Ring. You break them into it at Night of Champions. You break them into it at Survivor Series. I don't think, for me, you don't do that at WrestleMania. It's for me.
You don't want the same people in the main event. So I was going to say you don't want the same people in the main event.
All these guys now have got a year to prove they are the best of the best. So as much as right now we're talking about Seth versus Roman and Cody versus Punk, this time next year,
someone breaks through.
Trick Williams might be the best of the best, or in that bracket. So this time next year, I might be saying, you know what? Yeah, I want to see Trick versus Cody. I want to see Oba versus Reigns, which is probably
to
be fair,
it could be. But that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. They've got the year to prove they belong in that stage. I would put someone on that stage just because they're the next up and coming star, and they might be the next up and coming star. For me, to be main event in WrestleMania, you need to be the creme de la creme.
Yeah, and I get that, but then
you get a year to build into that. So, all right, we're sitting there, we're discussing hypotheticals, but WrestleMania is a year away. A year away. Like I said, Obafemi might be number 1B with Roman Reigns 1A in terms of the top stars. Then you say, actually, I want to see Obafemi in the main event. I want to see a Trick Williams. Or I want to see a Braun. Everyone's forgetting about
it. But that's what I mean. Like, them guys can still push through as well.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not.
So I think if they're pushing
they could be in it,
and they're good enough.
But that's what I'm saying.
You put them in there
to prove. Right then, they belong on that stage. Which I'm not saying they can't. I'm not shutting the door on them. They could very well be in it. That's why I mentioned a little bit earlier. That's why I said, you got Seth, Reigns, Cody, Punk. But that's why I said to you, in a year's time, we might be saying, boy, we want to see Obafemi in there in the main event of WrestleMania. I think we will, to be honest.
It could be the way trajectory's going.
I think that's.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's unbeaten by maybe this time Mania as well.
Yeah, I think that's
the way it's going.
Inevitable. So for me personally, I just don't think WrestleMania is the time to see if the next big thing is really the next big thing, or the perceived next big thing is really the next big thing. That's for me. You do that at any other event.
Yeah.
But Mania, you showcase the current and you showcase the current top stars in your main event. You showcase number 1 versus number 2, number 3 versus number 4, or 1A versus.
But then that being said, like last year's Mania, you did have Jey Uso against Gunther, and you did have the year before that you had No, to be fair, we'll say as much people criticize.
If that's what you're
That was a good
using
title
as your,
match.
if that's what you're using as your case
Yeah.
study, that just, I'm sure that strengthens my point even more.
Oh no, it's not like they stunk out Mania or anything,
It
and
wasn't.
they
It
had it on the opener.
and Jay was such a success that he's now back being in a tag team. Come on, what we
But
do?
the match was good. It
Was okay.
But at that point, he was over. You know what I mean? If someone's over like that, I guess that's WWE's way of rewarding him for that because he's that over. As much as people criticize and say, you know, he might not have been that good, he was over that point. Even the year before, Drew McIntyre was in title match with Seth Rollins. Okay, it wasn't main event; it was the opener. But you know,
But Drew's
if it's a bigger match,
Drew's 30.
yeah,
Drew's 30. Drew's what I'd call 30. So Drew 30, Seth 30, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Gunfire, I would even put in that bracket. Yes.
I still think
drawing power to be in the main event.
Yeah.
For no disrespect. In terms of in the ring, in ring ability, yeah, he's certified. Whether he's got because again, it's WrestleMania, it's the star power, the drawing power to be main event.
But what I will say is, I don't think if you got other matches that are star powered, I think you can also get away with
not in your main event.
A bit.
Not in the main event.
But again, it could be a world title match, and world title matches aren't always main event. You can if you got 4 big matches. So say you got these 2 big names. Say if it's like argument's sake, say if it is a Roman Reigns against a Cody, the 3rd match, and it's not for the title, but that's a big match. Say if you've got 4 big star power matches, or say you've got 3 big star power matches, whether the women's and the men's, and they all draw money. Now, one world title match has got a big name in there, and it's got a name who's pushed through up and coming. I think there's that balance there, innit? Because you still got all your big money matches, and then you can get away with.
You got to be sure about that up and comer. Like again,
that's what I mean. Yeah, as long as you're sure about him, then
you got to be like Jay. They saw as the next sort of breakthrough main eventer. That's what they saw Jay as. But deep down, was anybody really sure Jay was going to be that guy?
Well, the thing is, you can be sure about someone and then end up long term you get it wrong.
Yeah, true.
Which sometimes you can't always get it right, but
you can't. But that's what I'm saying. With Jay, I think there was like, and this is no disrespect with Jay, who's part of, for me, probably the greatest tag team of all time. But for Jay, they might have been pinning their hopes on him. But let's be honest, let's be real. No one's really sure Jay was that guy. Whereas again, we look at Femi now, we're all pretty sure he is that guy. So if you're
pretty sure, but again, he could be wrong.
We're as sure as we can be. We're as sure as we can be.
Yeah.
Without,
but also,
factual,
but also, does it make the Royal Rumble a bit more unpredictable then? Because there's always,
but
if you're gonna have the top stars, because Reigns has won it twice already now. Okay, Punk hasn't won it yet. That's fair enough. Seth has won it once already. Cody's won it twice already. So, Orton's won it twice already for the throw in there.
I give you an example. By this time, remember, it's still a long way. We're not even May yet. So you got Royal Rumble in January. By January, not only have you got your sort of established OGs of Cody, Reigns, Punk, Seth, by then you would like to think Braun, let's say Braun for now, Braun and Oba would also be in that bracket.
Yeah. And that's what I like to see, them guys pushing through. It doesn't have to be.
I'm not putting a ceiling on those 2. I'm just saying they've got to show between now and then they belong in the main event. So those 2, and maybe there'll be someone else who I can't even think of the top of my head. Someone
might come up and surprise you. Yeah.
Right. So that makes that does make the Royal Rumble unpredictable, because then there's about 6-7 guys who could win it.
But that's the point I'm making. It's like at some point I'd like to see, obviously, your certified main eventers, obviously you always want to see them in there, but you want to see different names in there as well. Not obviously for the sake of it, but you want to see names breaking through as well. But I think sometimes it is a case of being given the ball to run with it, if that makes sense.
I hear you. No. I do hear you, but I just for me, I just don't.
If they are good enough.
I don't think Mania is that spot. And again, even Stone Cold in '98 when he faced Shawn Michaels. Remember, he hadn't won the title, whatever, but we all knew this was the next big superstar. This is the one they wanted Shawn Michaels basically to pass the torch to, because he had proven himself in the matches with Bret Hart, etc. Even Owen Hart, that was a classic. He had proven himself. He belongs at that stage before getting to Mania. I don't want to see someone in the main event of Mania who they think could be their next breakout star. I want to see someone that's, again, you've got two certified guys, or you've got a certified guy, and you've got someone who they're looking to pass the torch to. Because
but that's what, but that's what I mean. And it could be in those guys breaking through. But what I mean is, obviously, they have to look to future as well, because again, those guys, they won't be around forever. So that's where you do have to sometimes future, maybe.
But that's what you do now. This is, again, in theory, this is the start of a new season, right?
Yeah.
But
I think you bred them in before those guys retire.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Well, at the start of this season, here's where now you test prove these up and coming stars, your Obafemis, your Trick Williams, your Bron Breakers, your Gumphers. Here's where you test proof them. And then by the time we get to Royal Rumble next year, Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania, we will already know if they deserve to be in the main event at WrestleMania. We will already know.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we're thinking the same, but just getting to it
different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, because I agree. You always need new stars. You always got to be thinking forward. But I just don't think you should.
That's what I mean.
Take a chance at someone at WrestleMania. For me, you've got now the best part of a year to prove you belong at WrestleMania.
Yeah. What I mean is taking a chance at Mania is just having someone different in the main event where you feel like they could be a star, and you give them that platform. Or if you're sure, but if you are, say, sure about them.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be someone.
They are the future. They are the future. You think they are the future, and you decide at Mania it's now. Whether they win the title or not, they could still end up losing. But if they have a strong performance at Mania for the title, but lose.
But for me,
I think you can still do a lot for them.
Yeah, but I think it's got to be someone that you're looking to pass the torch to. I don't think if it's someone that you think, you know what, I think this guy could be it. I'm not sure. You know, let's perform in the main event of WrestleMania and let's see how he gets on. That's what I don't.
Not that, yeah.
That's what that's what I don't.
No, it's not that, yeah.
If it's a case of he's going to be challenging for the title, and he's going to be on a bit like Cody a couple of years ago against Reigns. They wanted Reigns to pass the torch to Cody, so Cody in the main event. That I agree with.
But because some of these guys, they might internally view as a top stars, and if that's the case, like you hear the talk about Braun and Jacob, they're talking about your WrestleMania main eventers, like that will be main eventing a few WrestleManias. Now, whether that's just talk in kayfabe to get people behind them and stuff, or if that's genuine how they feel, that might be. If that's the case, then I think you give them that push or you give them that platform. If you feel like there can be, if you're sure, feel like they could be ready. If you have them in with an established main event guy, obviously I think that could help them.
It will, but you do that before Mania. If there's someone you think could be, again, like Jacob's going to be obviously likely main event in a Backlash. If you think, you know what, Jacob could be the next guy, you test prove him over the next however months it is to say.
Well, you can test prove him now at Backlash and then maybe now at PLE, and then all of a sudden Mania,
test prove him now.
Ready.
And by the time next January comes, by say Royal Rumble, you should already know whether this guy's the guy we're going to pass the torch. Yeah. If he is, then he wins Royal Rumble, goes Mania main events it. If you're not sure about him, then for me, you put him in the main event of WrestleMania. WrestleMania needs certified guys, certified main eventers. It needs star power. It needs drawing power because it's the biggest event in sports entertainment. Yeah.
I'll throw a couple of examples in there. Remember Batista, the rivalry with Triple H? Now, he wasn't a certified main eventer guy, but they took a risk with him. I think it's this transitional period WWE is having and they're trying to create new stars. So they put him in a storyline Triple H. The storyline worked. And I think it's more the storyline that got him over. But again, that was a risk. They put him in storyline Triple H, established star. It helped him get over as well. And even at Mania still drew good numbers. So
no, but
I think it's drew good numbers.
Already decided that's who Triple H was passing the torch to.
I think it's only after the Orton thing failed or they pushed Orton too soon. And then they had to go to someone else. So I think
Yeah,
Batista's
so
then.
that's so yeah.
But
So
again,
I don't I
Batista
don't
wasn't
mind that.
established.
Yeah, they
But
had already decided this is the guy we're
yeah,
passing the torch to. I'm just saying if you're looking to pass the torch to someone, by all means, main event WrestleMania. If it's a case of
yeah.
not sure about this guy, you know what? Throw him in at WrestleMania and let's see how he gets on. That I don't necessarily agree with.
No, I'm not saying that, but yeah, just you have to sort of look to future as well. If you're sure about these guys in the future, then you're gonna have to put them into that spot at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, that's what
Yeah, if you're sure about
that's
them,
what the rest of
yeah,
this year's for. Every pay-per-view PLE, the rest of this year, that's where you throw them in. Even SummerSlam, let's say so, the SummerSlam, the second biggest event. I think you could even
SummerSlam, yeah,
throw them in at SummerSlam. I just think WrestleMania needs to be the best of the best main eventing. A bit like a couple of years ago where you had the tag team match with Seth, Cody against The Rock, Roman Reigns, and the second night you had Roman Reigns and you had Cody Rhodes. The best of the best was main eventing.
yeah.
This year, Cody versus Orton, Reigns versus Punk. You got again the best of the best, and that's for me. When I think of WrestleMania, that's how it should be. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get that.
For me, you find out through the year. Out of your up and coming stars, you find out through the year who is basically the next one that's going to be main event in WrestleMania. You find out if any of them are capable of main event in a WrestleMania. If any of
Well, that's what I mean. It could be another Batista at some point, just storyline.
Yeah, like
some point in the year, it could be another Batista.
I've got little doubt this, Obafemi will be in and around that sort of environment come Mania.
Yeah.
He will be, if not in the main event, then maybe opening night 2.
And maybe it's a big match with someone established name.
Yeah, Obafemi will be a huge match at WrestleMania next year. Maybe in the main event, because I think he is that good. We saw against Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think he's done long matches as well, like definitely longer matches in NXT, and he's impressed.
Yeah, we know he can do longer matches. And yes, someone like that, if you said to me, next year he's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, I'd have no problem with someone like that because I think he's sort of test-proofed already.
Yeah.
If you said to me someone like, I'll use him because I'm a big fan of him, Trick Williams. If you said to me WrestleMania's next month, Trick Williams is going to be in the main event, I'll tell you, he's not ready to be in the main event. As much as I like him, he reminds me of The Rock in '98, the way he's getting over. He's get that sort of vibe from him.
Maybe. I think Trick could be given him a couple of years potentially. I think the ring work probably needs to catch up a bit with the mic.
Yeah,
ring work.
So, give him a couple of years, he might be ready. But if you said to me WrestleMania was next month, Trick's going to be in the main event, I would say I don't think he should be at this point. If you said to me Obafemi again, he's had a big match with Brock. He's over as hell. He will be ready to main event WrestleMania. Whereas I think someone like, say, Trick will be just a bit more of a risk. He'll be someone who, he could go there and shine, but not so sure. He could shine.
Yeah.
But he's just not being test proved yet. But look, we'll see. WrestleMania, we just literally just seen the back of this WrestleMania.
So see by this time next year's Mania. Yeah, you not sure who's going to main event, who's going to be in a big match, who debut. Because Obafemi only debuted a few months ago, and he's already in the big spot of Mania. So maybe someone from
that's fair enough. That's a fair
NXT comes up. Yeah,
that's a
I doubt it. I just rate, but you never know.
Don't sleep on Jacob as well. When we talk about guys outside of, say, your top 4 or 5 main guys,
Jacob Fatu.
Don't rule out Jacob. Don't rule out Jacob. He could very well be in the picture come WrestleMania.
I think he's someone who's quite marketable. So
yeah,
and obviously he's good in the ring, good in the mic. So maybe this match with Reigns maybe puts him sort of pushing towards it. But we'll see. If this match goes ahead, I'm assuming it will.
I think
backlash.
And I look forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very much looking.
I do.
I think Jacob is.
That'll be interesting.
One of the most talented in-ring competitors on the roster, like in terms of natural ability, and even in that family, I'm thinking in terms of natural in-ring ability. Without really putting on my thinking cap, I would say probably only The Rock I think, is ahead of him in terms of natural in-ring ability in that family.
That's a strong case. Oh, in the family.
Yeah, in the family.
That's a strong case.
Even
We'll see if you can.
In terms of natural ability, I'd even put him ahead of the great Roman Reigns. But look, we'll see what happens over the coming.
Come backlash, yeah.
We'll see.
Backlash, yeah.
Because Roman Reigns is written psychology, his IQ is on a different level. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see then.
We'll see.
I think we'll wrap it up there for Raw review.
Yep, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back to review SmackDown in the coming days. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, engage with us if there's any topics you want us to talk about, discuss. Remember to check out our Instagram page. We're working hard on that at the moment. But listen, big up everyone. Thank you for listening. Nice one.
Love, guys. See you soon.
Thank you for watching the Brothers of Destruction podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and look out for our question of the week.